Hello, beloved. I thank you so much for your time and I thank you for joining me on the Prophetic Vessel Show. This will be your message from God, Ra Allah, Source, the Divine. I'm grateful for your time. Negative energy, sorry. To those whom are keen or interested in becoming members of my Patreon, on my Patreon, I do offer weekly sign readings for $10 per month based on love as well as spiritual path. I also offer on my Patreon personal readings. For $50 per month, you get a personal reading from me every month based on love, spiritual path, career, and finances, as well as ancestral messages. I also now offer one-on-one sessions / life coach sessions. Those will be once off and not monthly. You can only book me for those directly via my email, which will be listed in my description box below, as well as the link to my Patreon if you'd rather join my Patreon instead. You can also join my Patreon by typing what is on the screen via Google, search it, and it'll lead you to my Patreon website. Without further ado, let us tap in and find out, why were you spiritually led here? What is here for you, beloved? Why did you resonate with the title? And why did your own YouTube algorithm present you with this message? Let us tap in and talk to God, okay? So I'm channeling the prophetic vision of tombstones, right? I'm seeing coffins and tombstones. So this message goes to those who live near a tombstone cemetery, like live near a graveyard, right? If you live close to a graveyard, if there's a graveyard in your neighborhood, if there's a graveyard in your area, then this is for you. Your area code, your postal code, this is for you. We have the Queen of Pentacles. We have the Two of Wands here. And we have the Queen of Cups. So the ancestors are coming through here, right? So I'm being shown that, there is something happening within the spirit realm, but in context of the tombstones, the cemetery, as above, so below. So the spirits of the dead are upset. So that anger, that's what they're vibrating on right now. That's the frequency they're on. That's the wavelength that they're on. The dead are upset. We have the Nine of Swords reversed to the Ten of Cups here. So the dead being upset, it's in relation to what has been done, right? So there are people that go into those graveyard sites and tamper with tombstones, graves of those that have passed on in different ways for different reasons with different intentions. And so there has been a constant uproar in the spiritual realm, in the land of the dead. those that are coming in and out of there, roaming the graveyards, are doing things, saying things, acting in ways within that graveyard or the graveyards that is enabling an imbalance in the nature that they're living in, their habitat. So it's like someone walking in at a graveyard and like pissing on someone's tombstone. Things like that happen often, especially when they're people under the intoxication of substances. They do things like that. There's a lot of blasphemous activities that happen in the graveyard that is close to your area, close to your neighborhood, the postal code area. So it's a bad omen, right? I'm channeling, negative energy. I'm channeling a bad omen. Like the dead being upset, it's a bad omen, right? It's a bad omen for something greater that's about to happen on earth. There's a bigger problem, right? Hence this message. We have the Eight of Swords reversed. So within the graveyard itself, those that have been buried there, it's like they see what you don't see, they hear what you don't hear. It's like there's a thunder, a storm. God is saying, this is an alert, right? There's going to start being bad things happening within that area, that neighborhood, that vicinity that you live in because of the dead being upset. A lot of bad things like crime, abuse, houses being haunted, paranormal activity, car crashes and incidences and accidents with regards to the residents in there. You will be walking in the road and you will be completely unsafe. Basically, this message is to tell you that you're not safe where you are because of what's happening around you. Something is not right and you can feel it. This is to confirm that if you haven't been feeling like something is not right, then this message is not for you. If you've been feeling that something in the neighborhood that you're living in, the area, the postal code, the residents, the vicinity, if you've been feeling like that place ain't right, this is confirmation to you saying, yes, you are right. You need to get up and get out of there. The ancestors are coming through again saying they want you out of there because it's not safe for you. It's like thievery as well. There's so much bad that's going to start happening in that place of rest that the place of rest that you're in. So if you haven't been feeling like anything's wrong with where you're living at and there is a graveyard near you, then you are not intuitively in alignment with the energy of what's currently being expressed in the message. Meaning the message is not for you if you are not, this is not just confirming what you already know. If this is not confirming what you already know, then this message is not for you. So back to the dead being upset, the bad omen. This is the energy of that. Hence why it's going to turn out like that. Like, you're going to start, I'm being shown a prophetic vision and I'm seeing it, right? It's like of a personal experience where I used to live somewhere, and as soon as I left, that house that I lived in was robbed. There was a burglary. It's that kind of energy where it's like there's something that's bound to happen at that place. You just need to get out in time. So this is confirming that yes, you were right by looking at a new place to stay or looking to invest in different property in terms of where to lay your head, looking to move, looking to transfer places, or whether it's a loft, an apartment, a house, whether you live in a hotel, a shelter. You are right wherever you are to question if you being there is something that you should be doing or not. It's like you need to go. So this is confirming that intuitive guidance that you are already feeling within you, that something ain't right and you need to go. We have the Seven of Wands reversed to the Hangman reversed here. So it's an ongoing thing. Like, the dead are upset and they're constantly getting angrier, more upset every day, because people are continuously being blasphemous in their own graveyard. Like, someone from a different lineage and bloodline will come and piss on another person's grave. That's where we've gotten as humankind, and it's sad. Like, we keep making things worse. But what I'm seeing here is that bad omen is a symbol to that like things have gotten really worse, right? And in the spirit realm, the land of the dead, it's like they're upset because of that. It's a bad omen. It's like that balance of nature, that balance is being interrupted, the balance of their habitat, their environment, the frequencies that travel in and out of there, the wavelengths, the vibration is being tempered with in the most wrongful manner, right? And people are no longer going there with the sacred energy of having respect and paying their homage to who has passed on. People are going there to do the unspeakable things. And that's why this is happening. It's like the ancestors of that graveyard that have been the collective of ancestors that have been experiencing the same thing in terms of where they've been buried. They're really there's things that get left behind for them by family members, relatives, friends, colleagues. People come there and then those things get stolen, those things get broken, those things get tempered with in a negative way, and all those things. So because of that, it worsens what's already happening. People go there to now have intercourse at the graveyard sites. They go there for sexual intercourse. They go there to dig up dirt to use. They go there. Some people dig up another person's grave. Some people have the most blasphemous conversations there, and they don't understand the fact they no longer in that paradigm of sacredness, that this is a sacred space and we must respect the land of the dead. We must respect them. Treat them with respect. It's their environment, their habitat, their nature, their balance, and us in and out of there in the way that we are in and out of there, right? It's either we mess up the balance or we just enable, or we're just in sync, right? We go there, we do what we got to do with the respect and sacredness that we hold as we do it, and we leave. But people have lost that value. They don't see it like that anymore. We have the strength reversed. And because of that, the energy is going to shift. You've already been feeling it in the atmosphere. Like your world, your life, your reality, something's different. It's different. Something is coming. That's what you've been feeling. That's the intuition. Those are the nudges. That's the discernment kicking in, saying something's not right. Yeah, something's about to happen. We have the Tower. Something big. Something that will cause an uproar in that neighborhood, that place, that area, that postal code, that setting, that specific location. Something big that can't be ignored by anyone living there. It's going to affect everyone there. And you're being warned. Things are going to start happening. It's going to feel like it's not safe. It's like you're going to feel nervous and antsy, even on days where you don't even know why. Like, why am I nervous? Like, you're just chilling, but you just have this nervous feeling within you. You're just looking outside and something just doesn't sit well in your spirit. Your mind travels to certain intrusive thoughts. Your emotions take you to just unsettling places. It's a sign. It's a bad omen that you're experiencing. So this message, the ancestors are saying, it found you for a reason. You need to be aware of what's going on so that you know what to do. It's like this is not something that you can just shake off, right? Because you're going to actively see why you need to move. This is just confirming what you've already been experiencing. You know that something ain't right? And this is not going to be something you can ignore. As I said, we've established this is going to affect everyone. Like everyone is going to be affected. Imagine you parking your car somewhere and you go into a store, and when you come out, it's been stolen from. Or you're driving, you're saying you're leaving your place and you go into just somewhere nearby where you at, and you get hijacked. It's like you'll go somewhere with your possessions and you'll get stolen from. You know, it's like things like that are going to start happening to the residents of that specific vicinity you're in, that location, that area, that neighborhood, that postal code. Things are going to start happening. So because you've already been intuitively feeling and getting intuitive nudges, the bad omen, right? It's like it's all just, there's just an imbalance going on right now universally. That's why you can feel it. Like it's like you'd be surprised. The neighbor feels it too. You'd be surprised that shop owner feels it too. That one driving past the neighborhood. You know, there's neighborhoods you drive past or walk past, or you know, you walk in there, you walk out, you go to a different neighborhood. There's neighborhoods, areas, postal codes, there's locations that when you in it, just like, man, something ain't right in you whilst you're there. You want to get the hell out of there. As soon as you just experience it, you just like, I want to be in and out. You don't feel like being there. You can sense what's going on even though you don't actually know. Your other senses are heightened. So you don't need to see. The messages you don't need to see. You already feel it, and that's enough with the moon reversed. You need to trust how you feel at this time. Now is not the time to question yourself. with everything that you are about, everything that you are, everything that you know, everything that you feel, everything that you think. Stay in your body, stay in your mind, stay in your heart, stay in your spirit. Now is not the time to question your identity, your decisions and choices. No. There's so much distortion and confusion and scattered energy all around you. If you've always been in alignment with a certain thing, stay in alignment with that. Don't get distracted into anything else. Don't now question, maybe you think you're being irrational about your intuition, that something ain't right where you're at. You think, man, I'm tripping. Like, nah, like you're not. And you're going to see it happen. But you need, back to that prophetic vision I'm being led to, where I told my story, where I lived somewhere, and as soon as I moved out, one of the days, it's like over some time, but that house was stolen from. There was a burglary, robbery. It's like you're being guided away from this trauma that will come from living here, because it's like it's gonna be traumatic. We have justice. So right now, you need to be praying, you need to be fasting, you need to stay in positive energy as much as you possibly can. You need to keep cleansing your thoughts, your heart, your emotions, your mind. You need to keep cleansing your body. You need to keep aligning yourself with the highest vibration that is in your reality, your life, and your world, okay? So that you'll always be protected, right? Because now you'll get the warnings, you'll get the signs, you'll be led. But if you don't sow those seeds for yourself, you won't reap, right? Let's tap in further to the energy, all right? Yeah, look at the tower coming out again. This time it came out reversed. It's like, because you're not the only one going through this, the omen will be that a lot of other people that live where you live are going to start, not living there, or you're going to see, the other omen is you're going to see people acting strange. The other omen is you're going to feel unsafe. The other omen is you're going to recognize things that you didn't recognize before, and it's going to be unsettling and uncomfortable. The other omen is things are not going to be the same, and not in a good way. There's not going to be better. It's like, no matter how you flip it, you're going to have to leave this place you're in. No matter how you flip it, you're going to have to, find another location here. But don't worry, you're going to be divinely guided as to where you need to go exactly. Like, you're going to be divinely guided as to where you need to go, like precisely. There's going to be precision in that guidance. You're going to be taken exactly where you need to go. So we have the Three of Wands reversed. So furthermore, I am seeing here that, the land of the dead, there are people that died through different things. Not everything is natural cause, like sickness. There's other ways that people have lost their lives. And those other ways, lives of people have been taken and stripped from them through violence and torture and all these things, all these energies that they've went through, all these experiences, right? So that energy also still lingers in that same neighborhood, that area, in that same location, in that same place. It still lingers. It's like the more people do bad in that graveyard, the worse things get, because they give those dark spirits power in that graveyard, because they keep doing dark things in the graveyard. So the good ones that passed on, or the good spirited people, they lose their power when there's too much of the darkness, right? So there's too much dark things going on within these graveyards. People do unspeakable things, and it happens under the moon. And the moon energy is either of light moon or dark moon. And there's a lot of dark moon energy that takes place within the graveyards. And the people that have passed on there, most of them are not good people. So the energy in that location of the graveyard won't be of good, because of the people, the spirits that once lived there, and now they were buried there, right? Even if they didn't live there, the life they lived, all that energy will be in that soil. And like I said, most of these people that were buried are not good people. So the energy in that soil is also not good. There's just a lot going on. You need to be aware. It's like a storm is coming, like some form. This is like a warning here. And with judgment, being reversed, your awareness is going to bring you to a place of contentment, because now rather know than not know. It's like we'd rather see this life for what it is and choose to understand for what it is. And of course it's going to freak us out, but rather know than not know. Rather be awake than asleep, right? So, okay, we have the Hierophant. So God is saying there's purpose in your life. You matter, okay? So this warning is telling you that you should go somewhere else, because your life is necessary and needed on earth. You matter. There's things that you need to be doing and saying, and ways in which you need to be acting on earth. There's your energy that is needed here on earth. In your world, in your life, in your reality, you matter. So you matter enough to be saved, and God will save you from anything. And in this instance, God is saying, yes, within you, had that nudge, that intuitive nudge that something ain't right, and you were right. Something ain't right. It's like these dark spirits in the graveyard. They leave the graveyard and roam. They go in and out of every place in that location, whether it's a store, a home, an apartment, a condo, a penthouse, a business corporation, company, building. They go in and out of any building, any property. They roam, they go everywhere. So they can be in anyone's home. And when you don't have spiritual covering, you're doomed. But you have spiritual covering. But the omen that you've been feeling that something ain't right is alerting you that you need to get out of there. There's too much darkness there. There's too much darkness there. It's like you need to live another day. You will live another day, okay? You're not in danger. This is bigger than you. It has everything to do with the nature and the balance of life. And when it's imbalanced, it's a bigger problem, and that's where God comes in. But we need to just take heed of where our lives are taking us and just follow the yellow brick road. For we are not in charge, right? We don't control none of this. All we can do is just learn and live while we learn to live. We have the Empress. So it's like you really matter. You know, you really matter here. You're someone of importance in the spirit realm as well. Hence, you know, your intuition alerts you about things, situations, people, environments, objects, items, possessions, you know, dreams. Like you always are intuitively in sync with the universe because you have that protection from God and your ancestry lineage, your ancestors that walk with you. They're high ranking in the spirit realm, so they protect you, so you will be okay. It's just we have to hope and pray that other people make it to God in time before their own doom, right? Because imagine not getting a warning like this, not knowing that you're doomed and you're living in your doom actively every day. There are people that aren't intuitively in sync the way you are. They will live there thinking everything's going to be okay, and then they lose their possessions. Something very valuable gets stolen, something that tempers with their life. It's like maybe someone's life depends on their laptop being working, you know, because that's where there's work in, that's where there's this like important documents, like the laptop needs to function and needs to be okay because it's a valuable possession in that person's life. And then they lose that. Things like that. Crime, like so much crime, abuse. It's like substance abuse, violence, that abuse as well. It's no longer safe to be there. You need to go plant your seed somewhere else. You need to go live somewhere else. You need to go grow somewhere else. You need to go thrive somewhere else. You know, you can no longer be there. You can no longer exist in that energy. You're too protected, right? You're protected. You need to go. And because you're protected, you feel it. Like part of your protection is you feeling that something ain't right. And your ancestors are right there guiding you, showing you signs and synchronicities, leading you to watch certain things. Example, this message, you know, I'm not the first confirmation you've received. You've intuitively been feeling this for months. You've been feeling this energy. Kidnapping, yeah, the devil. So much is gonna start happening. Like you really need to pack and leave. And it's like if there's someone you care about that lives where you are, let them know as well. You know, but you can't push someone to do something they don't want to do. You can warn them, but you're not God, right? So the devil being here is just further confirming the negative energy. It's confirming the negative energy. There's so much negative energy here. And the people, the spirits that roam, right? Because they can be anywhere and they're evil spirits. I mean, take a guess, right? It's a result of what's going to happen. And We, as rather, the people that have been affecting the graveyard don't realize it, but they're the ones that broke the balance of nature within that habitat, that environment of the dead. And they're the ones that are making way, opening a portal for the evil spirits to overcome the good in that graveyard. And therefore, when evil takes control, there will be abuse, there will be crime, there will be kidnapping, there will be break-ins, there will be hijacking, there will be rape, there will be killings. The hosts that are going to house the energy of these evil spirits are the same people that live in that area. People that live in that area, they don't have good spirits. So it's going to be easy for them to be a host of evil. You need to be aware of what's happening. You need to know how to move. It's like you're very connected, very in tune, universally, spiritually. And you feel it, especially at night, like you can feel something ain't right in your life, in your world, in your reality, in regards to the area, the location, the neighborhood, the vicinity, the postal code. It's like the air you breathe, it already speaks when you breathe it in. You already receive the downloads, the channelings of the intuitive nudges, confirming what you already know. But like I said, you're protected, right? You are protected here. And don't put it on yourself if the next person you try to warn about the situation doesn't take heed. You've played your role. Okay, like I said, you're not God. Don't be like, oh, but you have to move. I'll feel bad if you don't, because I already know what's coming. That, like, let people be. All right. I'm being called to end this message here. This was your message from God, Ra, Allah, Source, the Divine. I'm grateful for your time, and I thank you so much for joining me on the Prophetic Vessel Show. To those whom are keen or interested in becoming members of my Patreon, on my Patreon, I do offer weekly sign readings for $10 per month based on love as well as spiritual path. I also offer on my Patreon personal readings. For $50 per month, you get a personal reading from me every month based on love, spiritual path, career and finances, as well as ancestral messages. I also now offer one-on-one sessions / life coach sessions. Those will be once off and not monthly. You can only book me for those directly via my email, which will be listed in my description box below, as well as the link to my Patreon if you'd rather join my Patreon instead. You can also join my Patreon by typing what is on the screen via Google, search it, and it'll lead you to my Patreon website. I thank you all for everything, and I'll see you all soon. Goodbye.